its way. Held off on cages loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Down off the caves on its front, for wherever we go, you'll know.
All right, folks, welcome. My name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. I'm the host of the stream. And today the president is going to be delivering a speech to Venezuelan Americans in Miami, Florida. As he puts more pressure on the Maduro regime, President Trump is showing his support to the Venezuelan people who are seeking freedom and who are seeking a better chance of survival in their own countries. But there's a lot of Venezuelan Americans in all over the country showing support for the president, as the president forces or intends to force Maduro to basically give up power. He wants to do it with no military intervention. He doesn't want to create anything. He just wants to make sure that the Venezuelan people are heard and that the Venezuelan people pressure Maduro to step down instead of a foreign nation. So the president is going to be talking about this. The president is going to be showing his support to the Venezuelan people. He's going to be showing his support to Venezuelan Americans living in the United States who have family and friends and relatives still in Venezuela. So make sure you guys stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. Again, this is going to be live from Miami, Florida, as the president is still in Florida right now. After this speech, he's going to make his way back to the White House, where tomorrow everything starts, folks. It's going to be an awesome week. A lot of news, a lot of stuff is coming out as we speak. So make sure you guys stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. All we ask for is if you guys can please share this live stream on social media. That's the only thing we ask, folks. If you guys can help us out by sharing this live stream on social media. So make sure you guys do that. And also don't forget to click the thumbs up button. That helps out the channel immensely here on YouTube. And make sure you guys stay tuned. So we're getting everything ready to go. We want to make sure that everything is perfect for you guys. And we'll go on from there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. Don't forget to share this live stream and click the thumbs up button. Here we go.
Appreciate it. The jobs numbers just came out, and we added 304,000 jobs, which was a shocker to a lot of people. It wasn't a shocker to me. The country's doing really well. We have the strongest economy anywhere in the world by far, and we're the strongest nation in the world. So that was really good, but those numbers were very, very impressive. Labor force participation rose 63.2. and rose to 63.2. That's a great number. Hourly earnings rose. For people working, the earnings rose. Those are numbers that you didn't used to hear very much. So we're very honored, but very importantly, we added 304,000 jobs. Estimates were 150 to 170, and it turned out to be 304,000. So that's a big, big number. Companies are reporting extremely well. Numbers on earnings have been great. And I think we are headed in a very, very powerful direction. Other countries are not doing well. Actually, that's probably, in many ways, that's one of the headwinds that we have, because other countries in other areas are not doing well, and we're doing fantastically well. So we'll take that every single time. But would like to see others do better. China's having a very tough time. As you know, Europe, the EU is having a pretty tough time. So I guess it makes our numbers look even more important. It makes them look even better. We're here to talk about human trafficking on the southern border. This is a group of incredible people who we've been working with in different levels and different forms, and they're going to be speaking, most of them, and telling you some stories and how we need border security. And if we don't have it, the Democrats, frankly, will be doing this country a tremendous disservice. Nancy Pelosi is doing a very, very great disservice to our country, and I think she's got to get on the ball, because we're going to have a wall that's being built anyway. But if you don't have it, human trafficking, just as an example, when you see today what's going on, people that aren't willing to do what they have to do and they know what they have to do, they're doing the country a tremendous disservice. We're here to directly, from members of law enforcement, hear what they have to say, and battling the scourge of human trafficking on our southern border and all across our nation. Much of it comes, in fact, most of it comes, some people would say almost all of it, from the southern border, which we can stop very easily. This is not something you can go through points of entry. You can't just say that you have 3 people in a car and bound up and all sorts of problems, and you can't go through a port of entry, obviously. They go through areas where we don't have a wall. So I want to thank Secretary Nielsen, Associate Chief Carl McLafferty, and Acting ICE Director Ron Vitello for joining us for this important event. It's a really important event. Human trafficking is worse now than it's ever been in the history of our world. It's a world problem. It's a U.S. problem, but it's a world problem, caused to a certain extent by the internet. One of the reasons that we have it so bad is the internet. That's why it's picked up tremendously over the last 5 years, because of the internet. My administration has made the fight against human trafficking one of our highest priorities. In the past several weeks, I've signed 4 robust pieces of bipartisan human trafficking legislation. My director of intelligence, and we have a group of people that are incredible. They've elevated the human trafficking problem to the highest levels. We're watching closer than ever before. We're studying people that are doing it. We're following them. We're capturing them. But our job could be made a lot easier if we had support for what the incredible law enforcement folks do at the southern border. Our progress will be limited if we do not secure our porous border and put an end to the human trafficking and humanitarian crisis that is taking place at the southern border. It is indeed a crisis. And you know, we have right now an invasion. If you look at what's going on with the caravans, it's an invasion. There are 3 caravans heading our way. If we had a wall, it wouldn't even be a problem. But we've sent 2,500 military down to help Border Patrol and law enforcement. And I have to say the military has done an incredible job, including helping us with some walls and some fences, which are very necessary. Unsecure borders give traffickers free and clear passage to transport their victims into the United States. It's a tremendously big moneymaker for some very, very bad people. In fiscal year 2018, ICE made more than 1,500 human trafficking arrests, with 97% of that for sex trafficking. And it's a big movement now because of the Super Bowl, if you can believe this. They are bringing in a lot of women through the southern border for the Super Bowl. And then I have people like Nancy Pelosi and Democrats that say, oh, we don't need a wall. And they come through areas where you don't have any form of barrier protection. In a moment, we'll hear from several individuals who are working tirelessly every single day to fight the trafficking, rescue victims, and support survivors. Survivors need tremendous support. What they go through is unimaginable. Former DHS Special Agent and Advocate Timothy Ballard, who is here will detail one case where a 13-year-old girl from Central America was kidnapped, trafficked across a section of our border without a wall, and then horribly abused in captivity while in New York City. Taken right through a certain section where there is no wall, you can't see anything for miles and miles and miles. They could have come through anywhere they wanted. And we'd have that all filled up. It'd be very hard. Even one woman or one child trafficked is too many. But there are thousands and thousands and thousands, and it's billions of dollars of money flowing into the pockets of some very bad criminals. There are potential victims, including young children, that we can still protect if we act now to secure our border and build a wall. The case we're building a wall is everything. It's everything. Human trafficking by airplane is almost impossible. Human trafficking by van and truck and the backseat of a car, and going through a border where there's nobody for miles and miles and there's no wall to protect. It's very easy. They make a right, then they make a left, they come into our country, and they sell people. And we cannot let it go on. And the Democrats can play their game, but if you watch them at interviews, they want to get off that subject so fast because there's no way they can justify the fact that a wall works. It works so well. I watched them the other day. I watched a couple of high-ranking Democrats trying to explain that walls are not necessary, really. They're immoral. What's immoral is when people come into our country and kill innocent victims. If you look at the San Diego area, if you look at many areas where you have the wall, you look at Tijuana. If we didn't have a wall in Tijuana now, you'd have people coming in by the tens of thousands. But we have a wall. It's an old wall. It's not a good wall, and it still works. What we're building is incredible. We're building a lot of wall right now. We're renovating wall and we're building wall. And we're going to continue to build wall, regardless of what happens with this committee, which I say is a waste of time, because any recommendation that comes back to me, and I'm a very modern guy. They like to say walls are medieval. They work 100%. And what doesn't work is technology if you don't have the wall. The technology is called the bells and whistles. And we have the top law enforcement people in the country here, really in the world, and they will tell you that without the wall, it all doesn't work. It can't come together. If you just take a look at parts, take a look at Tijuana, imagine that. Imagine us taking that wall and moving it to Texas. Let's take it up and move it to Texas. They would like to have it. Let's take it up and move it right over to Arizona or New Mexico. They would love to have it. They would love to have it. And you would have thousands and thousands of people. There would be nothing you could do to stop the people from pouring across. But we're here to talk about human trafficking, and this is something where people have no idea how bad it's become. Worse than ever at any time in the history of our world because of the internet. So I'm going to ask Secretary Nielsen to speak, and then we're going to show you some videos and some other things. And I don't think there'll be anybody up there, including from the media, that disagrees with me. They may not write it that way, but there will be nobody that disagrees with me. Secretary, please.
Thank you. Well, first I want to thank everyone for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Mr. President, thank you always for your leadership. This is an extraordinarily important topic, and as you've said many, many times, it's a horrific, horrendous, and horrible ongoing tragedy and crisis that we have due to our vulnerabilities on the southern border. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is an insidious form of modern-day slavery. That's what this is. This is not a problem that is experienced in other places of the world. It's experienced here, today, in the United States of America. It is something that this entire administration is committed to combating. It takes very close coordination with state and local governments, but also with our international partners to take down the transnational criminal organizations that are at the heart of this crime. And before we turn to other people, I just want to talk a little bit about the fact that this is directly related to our unsecure southern border. Transnational criminal organizations have taken advantage of our unsecure border. The result is that we continually see young girls used as pawns to line the pockets not only of criminal illegal aliens, but also of the cartels who violate our nation's borders and our laws and use that money to fund other criminal enterprises. The President mentioned the Super Bowl. I just want to pause to say DHS. In addition, I'd like to thank the over 600 DHS personnel who are on the ground in Atlanta to help the state and local secure the Super Bowl. But we also continue to do our other mission sets, which includes combating human trafficking. We have made over 40 arrests, and some of the victims that we have saved, unfortunately, include underage children that have been brought in for the purposes of being sold and abused as part of Super Bowl activities. So I want to thank all of HSI for their great work continually, but also as we prepare for the Super Bowl. So before we turn to our law enforcement folks at the table, what we'd like to do is turn to Tim Ballard, who is the founder and CEO of Operation Underground, and also to Alma Tucker. Thanks to both of them for being here, the founder and president of the International Network of Hearts. They'll be talking to us about their experience assisting victims, sir. So I'd like to start with, perhaps with Tim and then with Alma.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you very much. I spent 12 years as a special agent, as an undercover operator, working on the southern border, working sex trafficking cases. And I can tell you, you're exactly right. One little girl I can tell you about, in fact, I introduced this little girl to Miss Trump during a private briefing. This little girl was kidnapped in Central America. 11 years old, groomed for 2 years, with the intent of getting her ready to come to America. Why? Because we are the highest consuming nation of child pornography. We are the clientele that's the big money. They brought this little girl through a part of the southern border where there was no wall, easily got her to New York City, and this is hard to hear, but this is the truth, and everyone needs to hear this. This little girl, and this is very typical, raped for money every day, 30 to 40 times a day. If that's not a crisis, if that's not an emergency, I don't know what is. Now let me say this, had there been a wall, had there been a barrier, this little girl likely would have been saved because the traffickers would have been forced to take this child through the port of entry where we have amazing law enforcement. I've worked with these people. These are the best people on the planet. They can detect, they have the equipment, they have trained agents. In contrast, while this was happening, I was working another case. A little boy, a Mexican boy who was kidnapped by an American trafficker by a child pornographer. He kidnapped Mexican children, brought them to San Bernardino County, where he had a makeshift studio, made child porn with these little children, 5 years old. This little boy was kidnapped in Mexicali, Mexico, where there was a wall, where there is a barrier, and so he was forced to take this little boy through the Calexico port of entry, and guess what? It worked. We captured him. We rescued the little boy and subsequently rescued 12 other children in San Bernardino, California. The difference between those two cases is 2 + 2 = 4. The wall was the difference. The wall rescued this little boy, and the lack of a wall caused this little girl to go through a hell that is indescribable, that is not manufactured. It is a real crisis. It is a real emergency.
And you have many thousands of people like this.
Thousands. This is happening all the time. We work in Mexico. We have done several operations. I've just met with the Secretary of State, their equivalent, Olga Sanchez, just last month about this. We are having to do operations in Mexico, our foundation, working with law enforcement, to essentially become the wall, because there is no wall. We're forward deployed. It's like trying to catch flies with chopsticks. It works. We can make it work, but if we had a big, fly swatter, which is the wall, that'd be a lot better. Yeah. It stops it.
That's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Please.
Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to actually put a face to this horrible epidemic situation that we live in, called human trafficking. We are International Network Heart, and we represent more than 50 organizations fighting from both sides of the country together against human trafficking. And we realize that not only the kids need to be rescued, also provide services. And this is why we have 2 shelters, one for boys and one for girls. And we know also that the statistic, they said that the mayor is from 12 to 24 years, they're vulnerable. But we were shocked to receive kids 4, 5-year-old. As you know, when they're rescued, they come with a lot of trauma, they need a lot of services. And I want to tell you a little bit how I started working in human trafficking, and that was 20 years ago when I used to work in the Mexican consulate. And I had the privilege to serve some kids and were rescued. One particular case impacted my life. She was only 14-year-old, and the smuggler, the parents paid the smuggler to bring her undocumented through the mountains to this country. But the smuggler told her that her parents didn't pay a full amount for her transportation, and she had to pay. She had to pay with her own body and have sex with all the people in the group, then go through this journal. And they forced her to have sex 20, 30 times until Border Patrol rescued her. And they would transport her all the way to the hospital. And I was there. They called me. I used to work in the consulate. And just to hear a girl, 14-year-old, crying for her mother, crying for someone that can help her after going through this trauma, I was able to be there and hold her hand through these horrible moments. And I promised her to stay with her, holding her hand until I was able to find her parents. And she has to go through horrible situations, as you know, medical interviews, everything. And I promised myself, no matter I didn't work anymore with the consulate, I had to do something. Cases like this, I see one after another. I remember another girl, only 9-year-old. She was brought to this country through the regular lines in San Isidro, but the smuggler decided to put the little girl in the hood next to the engine, and he had another 4 men in the car. Once he got caught at the border, they processed them, the whole group, but he never mentioned about the girl. He let her in the hood. Not until the next day, the mother called looking for her mother. She heard what happened. Then the officers ran to the jar, and they found the little girl, 9-year-old, unconscious. Also, she was transferred to the hospital. Thank God she survived. But these people, these smugglers, they don't care about the life of one little girl. They really don't care. Other cases that I've been working, I remember, they brought a lady. She was 21-year-old. Her husband actually was pimped from Tlaxcala. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with what's going on in Tlaxcala. Then it's industrial business for families for generations and generations in Mexico. And he brought her to this country, promised her a better life. But once she was in this country, she forced her to have sex with men in the fields and agricultural fields, day and again, days, 40, 50 times a day. And when she denied to do it, she told her, she left behind her daughter in Mexico, and she said, "You will never see your daughter." Again, officers did a raid and they rescued her. And now she's reunited. And thanks to the collaboration from both countries, they found her daughter in Tlaxcala. They brought her to this country. They provide services, and they were reunited. Then I know it's necessary to increase the collaboration from both countries, because it's something that is happening, but we need to do something to stop. We work direct with the victims. We see how much pain, and from generation and generation, occurs when someone is victim of human trafficking.
Thank you,
Mr. President.
Thank you. And sir, I'd just like to thank Ivanka Trump, who's been such an amazing advocate and support of the victims and raising awareness. Thank you. Now we'd like to turn to Deputy Special Agent in Charge, Anthony Scandivio from New York, who's going to talk about an illegal sex trafficking ring in investigation in New York.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. President. HSI New York, unfortunately, we do a lot of work in the sex trafficking area, especially in the Queens, New York area. One investigation that we did involved young females that were being brought up from Tenancingo, Mexico to Queens, New York area. The coercion and the abuse begins in Mexico, where these traffickers approach these young, vulnerable women to either convince them that to come to America for the better life. Maybe sometimes even date them, become their boyfriends, or even marry them, luring them to the United States. The women talk about how they're brought across the border. One describes being put down, face down on a raft and pulled across on a rope. One driven in the back of a truck, in the back of a flatbed truck, or in the middle of the night crossing the border into a vehicle or taken to a safe house. They think their journey, the rough part of the journey is over, but little do they know, once they reach Queens, New York, that's when their true horror begins, where they're abused, beaten, maybe not fed, all for the trafficker to take over their minds and to force them into this life of prostitution. For us, thank God for the great work of the Border Patrol. They interdicted one of these individuals. We had some females with him. From that little bit of information, we were able to uncover over 12 victims in New York, 2 of which were minors when they came across the border by this trafficking organization. And like Ms. Tucker stated, these poor women were asked to service 15 to 40 men a day for as little as $40. The organization was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, which is being funneled back to Mexico. Doing this type of work for us at HSI is the most rewarding work that we could ever do, because you're saving a life, you're saving a victim, and it's making the public aware of this that's out there. We did a bilateral takedown with our Mexican authorities where we arrested 5 of the individuals in Mexico, 3 of the individuals in New York. They were recently sentenced in January of this year, ranging from 8 to 25 years for the trafficking of these 12 victims to the New York area.
And mostly coming through the border.
Yes.
It's incredible. Incredible.
We'd like to turn it over to Joel. Joel's going to talk about Operation Safe Haven. This was a ring that was operating from Georgia to Texas, sir.
Mr. President, thank you for having me. My name is Joel Roundtree. I've been a special agent for approximately 16 years now. And it's just how we work a variety of cases. And I submit to some of the most important ones we work are these trafficking type cases. They allow us to not only make a difference in these people's lives and the victims' lives, but also they really put some bad guys in jail. So one of these particular cases is Operation Safe Haven. I'm out of Savannah, Georgia office, Homeland Security, and we uncovered a sex trafficking circuit there that was operating in Georgia and also in 9 other states, including North Carolina and Texas. They had recruiters, very similar to what we've heard here today already, operating in foreign countries and would lure these girls, mainly uneducated and from poor backgrounds, into the United States with the American dream that so many people have. And when they get here, it's really a nightmare. These victims that we interviewed as a result of our case told us, and I'll just use their verbiage, that they were taken and broken in houses prior to being put on this 20 brothel circuit that we were able to take down at the end. They described how they would be forced to service up to 30 men per day at these brothels, where they'd work for 1 week, and then at the end of their week, they were transferred to the next one. And it was just an endless circuit that they stayed on. We conducted investigations for approximately 18 months. We deployed a variety of investigative tools, mobile tracking devices, covert cameras. All this led to wiretap affidavits where we intercepted communications occurring over telephones utilized by members of the organization. That in turn led us to a federal indictment in the District of Georgia of 40 individuals. And they ranged at every level of this organization, from the customers that were at the brothel to the transporters to the traffickers. We were also able to arrest 36 of those while rescuing 15 of the victims out of these brothels. They were provided services by our victim assistant coordinators in their areas, including food, clothing, shelter, and the like. So we considered it pretty successful.
Great job. I've heard you do a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel. Now we'd like to turn to Carl, and sir, this is particularly horrific, what Carl is going to describe. There are some parts of this that are law enforcement sensitive, so he will keep it at the appropriate level. But what he will describe is the child recycling ring that we have previously talked about. This is a crime, sir, where smugglers take children and they bring them again and again across the border to enable other criminals to enter our border under the loopholes in our laws. So, Carl, please.
Thank you, Secretary. Mr. President. As you know, 2008 of October was the first time we ever had more family units than single adults apprehended. So the family unit issue has become something of a crisis for us. In Yuma, Arizona, we were catching groups of Guatemalans, family units, turning themselves into Border Patrol, crossing around where the fence ends. And our agent started looking into it and found that some of the sponsors, after they were released, were the same person, the same address, the same phone number. So they reached out to HSI in Charleston, South Carolina, where these people were going. HSI looked into it and said, yeah, there's something going on here. Why don't you come out, we'll do this case together. They went out to Charleston, followed a group that actually got released. They were picked up by the sponsor. Immediately after that, the smuggler pulled over and put a bag of trash in a dumpster. Agents recovered that. Inside was their ankle bracelet, their legal documents, already discarded by these sponsors, which ended up being a smuggling organization. They investigated this case, were able to tie this back to a larger group that was smuggling Guatemalans into South Carolina and other places. Out of this, they were able to get 8 indictments and 11 warrants served, resulting in 24 illegal aliens apprehended. And one of the indictments was a woman who was being paid $1,500 a child to take the children back to Guatemala who were not part of actually the family unit. So she claimed to doing this 13 times. And so we found out they were recycling these children. They would bring them up, smuggle them, part of a family group, recycle them back to Guatemala, put them in another family group and come back out. So this was, obviously exploitation of these children.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And now we'd like to turn over to Amy Allen, sir. She is an ICE victim advocate. I had the pleasure of hearing a brief from her a couple weeks ago. She is a very powerful part of what we do to help the victims and survivors. And I'd love for her to give you a little bit about what she does.
Thank you.
As working with HSI in Division 4, there's a component there called the Victim Assistance Program, and I'm part of that, along with 26 other victim advocates that sit in all of our offices. As a forensic interviewer, my job is to investigatively interview alongside with an agent a victim of human trafficking and child exploitation. I've done over 6,000 interviews in my career. This is all I've done for 25 years. I think when we sit here and we talk about the rescue of victims, our minds turn to how that actually happens. And with HSI's investigative efforts, a lot of our leads to seek these rescues come from financial institutions, the community, schools, and our local law enforcement partners. These women don't necessarily have access to 911. These women don't always identify as a victim based on the coercion and the manipulation that's being done by their traffickers. If we had access, or if they had access to 911, obviously we would serve them quicker, but we're identifying them and then really wrapping services around them in order to, if you will, bring them to Team America. We want these victims to be stabilized. We want them to be healthy enough to allow us access to investigative information that they can provide so that we can prosecute the offenders and the controllers and the traffickers that are keeping these women working and laying down 20, 30, 40 times a day. So my job is to work alongside the agent when we identify this victim and, again, make sure that that victim is interviewed in a way that's not blaming. We certainly don't want to ask victims of human trafficking, how many men did you have sex with each day? We want those women to be met with non-blaming language, such as how many men had sex with you. You know, this is not their fault, no matter what they look like, no matter how they're dressed. You know, our idea of them or what our community thinks of them when they're being controlled and coerced into this kind of an environment, it's our job to help identify that and then, like I said earlier, to rescue them. So we look for additional support all the time in our program because, again, the outreach that we do to the community and to the people that are really have their eyes and ears there to identify them is important to us. You know, our Blue campaign that is run by HSI and ICE, the slogan is hidden in plain sight. And I think that's such an important slogan to have because these women are among us. Obviously, when you talk about the Super Bowl, we talk about women that are there. There's other people there that need their eyes and ears to help identify that, but they are hidden in plain sight. And so our outreach efforts and the victim assistance efforts that we take every single day to help identify them and support them really will bring to pass additional prosecutions and support for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And finally, still in for Jim at the appropriate level, is going to tell us a little bit about how technology plays a very important role here. I'm extraordinarily proud of what HSI and ICE bring to the table in terms of their investigations. So please, Jim.
Mr. President, thank you for having me. I want to talk about HSI's role in using technology to fight these types of crimes. We're definitely a world leader in applying technology and in doing victim-centric investigations. I founded our HSI's Child Victim Identification Program and Laboratory back in 2012. I've dedicated my career to identifying and rescuing victims of these horrendous crimes. In doing so, we apply several different pieces of technology. I actually have some demonstrations here for you. So one of the things that we do quite often, and what you see here, is a sanitized image of an offender's hand abusing a victim that we've removed from this image. But in that image, we were able to pull the fingerprint of the subject from that image and thusly identify that subject through the fingerprint. We routinely do this now.
And if I can interrupt, Jim, that's even though the fingers are not facing the picture.
Correct.
So the technology enables them to pull the prints from the photograph.
So another thing that we do often are comparisons. So after the fact, after we've identified and rescued the victim usually, and we have imagery, again, depicting, we have a lot of hands in our imagery. So this is a case of having individuals' hand from the abuse imagery and then having exemplar images from a search warrant photo and using the dermatological markings from that person to be able to draw the inference that it is the same person. And so we do a lot of comparisons, and pretty much anything that can be photographed or depicted in imagery or video we can do a comparison of, as long as we have an exemplar. In this case here, this is use of some creative technology, but also some external expertise. So here we have a child depicted in an outside environment. That child is horrifically abused in imagery and video that we have seized, as well as some of the non-abuse imagery. So what we did is we sanitized her away from the image, so we just remove her using different image editing tools. And what we did here, we noticed that there's some plant life, there's flora and fauna. In the bottom right, in the red circle, is a
All right, folks, so here we go. We do have the footage from inside the venue where President Trump is going to be speaking at a Venezuelan American community rally in Florida. So we're going to be putting it up on your screen. Just give me a second as I get everything ready for you folks, and then we will go on from there. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. Don't forget to please share this live stream on social media, and here we go.
It's being aided and abetted by the Castro regime in Cuba.
All right, folks.
So
this is live footage. Again, this is live footage from Miami, Florida, where President Trump is going to be coming out and delivering a speech. Please share this live stream on social media and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.
Because the tyranny that you see there, we also see in Nicaragua. We also see in Cuba. And so I hope that a free Venezuela, which we have a chance to achieve soon, will be followed by freedom for people in Nicaragua and ultimately freedom for the Cuban people. You know, sometimes we have these debates about the type of systems, and there's some people that say socialism works and this and that. But here's the thing. You don't even need to get into an intellectual debate. Right now in Venezuela, you have people who are starving to death, and yet right across the border, there is all kind of humanitarian aid that is staged waiting to go. Does Maduro allow that aid to come in? No. Mr. Maduro, let the people have this relief. Let the aid come in. Give me a break. So I think that this is a failed system. You know it is a failed system. And we have, thankfully, a president who has been willing to call it as he sees it. And I can tell you this. If you're a general in the Venezuelan military right now, and you have a choice to cast your lot with Maduro and his failed system, knowing that you're going to go against the President of the United States, I think very carefully before you make that decision, because I know all options are on the table, and I know we're going to be with the people of Venezuela until the end of this. There's only so many times in history where you really have a moment that matters, and I think we're in this right now. You see the demonstrations. This regime has no legitimacy. Juan Guaido is the appropriate president of the people of Venezuela, and they need to have free and fair elections. All people are now looking at what happens here, and if we don't deliver, if we don't stand with the people of Venezuela and their aspirations for freedom and democracy and free and fair elections, then that's going to be a body blow to the cause of freedom, not just in Latin America, but throughout the world. We will be saying that the Castros and the Ortegas are the victory in this conflict, and we can't let that happen. So I thank you all for your support for the people of Venezuela. Florida has your back, the United States of America has your back, and damn it, we are going to see a free and democratic Venezuela. We'll make it happen. Thank you. God bless you guys. God bless Florida. God bless the people of Venezuela. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
All right, folks, so the president should be coming out very soon to deliver his speech to Venezuelan American community. Right now, the president, this is taking place at the University of Miami, I believe. Yeah, it's at the University of Miami. So just give me a second. Please stand by as we get everything ready to go for you folks. The president should be coming out very, very soon. Stay tuned here. Give me a second. I'm going to put it back on your screen. Just making sure everything is perfect and ready to go for you guys. So yeah, so if you guys can please share this live stream on Facebook and Twitter and Gab and Reddit and all of those social media sites, that would be amazing. That's the best way to help out Golden State Times continue operation here on YouTube. We need your help, folks. We need as much help as we can possibly get. The best help that we can always get is sharing this live stream, sharing every single one of those videos that we post up. Even if you guys already saw it, it doesn't matter. You guys go over there and click the thumbs up button. You share that live stream or that video that we just uploaded. And that just helps out Golden State Times continue operation. So if you guys like our coverage, if you guys like what we do here at Golden State Times, always please remember to share our live streams, share our videos. And we appreciate that so much, everyone that is doing it. So thank you so much. I'll give you guys a quick shout out in just a few minutes. Everyone that is sharing the live stream on Twitter and Facebook. If you guys haven't yet, please follow us on Twitter, where we post tons of updates and news and stuff like that. So it's at Gold State Times. Again, it's Gold State Times on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow us on there. And we'll give you guys quick updates and give you guys shout outs, whoever's sharing the live stream. Thank you so much. right, folks, so here we go. So I'm going to be giving some shout outs here as a thank you for everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media. I hope you guys can hear me good now. All right, so we got Robert. Thank you so much, Robert, for your support. We also have Trump's Warrior, and we have Mr. Tomcat. We also have Search Marketer. Thank you so much. Dorothy Webster, thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We have Jonathan, and we also have, let's see, Katina, I hope I said that right. Gabriel, thank you so much. Nexus and Anne-Marie Tucker, thank you so much. Troy, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We also have Edwin Diaz, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Ellen, Using My Voice, thank you so much. Red Pill, former Democrat, thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We also have Gwendolyn and Dawn. We have Make America Great Again 2019, Haley. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Bushman, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We also have Devil Dog for Trump. Thank you so much for your support in sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see. As you guys can see, there's a lot of Venezuelan Americans. This is a rally-style speech, folks. So technically, this is another Trump rally, but the focus of this Trump rally is Venezuelan Americans, the community of Venezuelan Americans in Florida. We're right now in Miami, Florida, at the University of Miami. As you guys can see, the White House, the White House cameras are in the front right there, front and center like always. All right, so Storm Anon, thank you so much for your support. Also, we have Zhuang WM, thank you so much for your support in sharing the live stream. Deborah, thank you so much. And we have Target. I'm sorry. This is MAGA Country, I guess. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. I'm trying to figure out if that's the name of your account or not. I'm not 100% sure. But thank you so much. We also have Basta. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We also have Belinda and Linda twice sharing the live stream on social media. So thank you so much for that. 4 more years, says with Trump 2020. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. We also have DMCHO Design. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. So we have a bunch of Patriots sharing it. Thank you so much for your continued support in sharing the live stream. If you have any more, we'll be giving a quick shout out here as we get ready for the president. As you guys can see, this is live footage from inside the venue where the president is having a rally-like speech regarding Venezuela. In attendance are a lot of Venezuelan Americans, South Americans, and a lot of the Latino community in Miami, Florida. A lot of Cubans are in attendance too. A lot of Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. So stay tuned, folks, because there's a lot of people at this rally-styled speech that the president is set to deliver in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. Thank you so much for everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media and clicking that thumbs up button. Don't forget that that thumbs up button helps a lot. It forces YouTube to promote this live stream so more people can see it. So don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I want to give a quick shout out to Ellen. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Those Super Chats help the channel out and for us to get better, in order for our equipment to continue, so that way we can cover everything we possibly can. So thank you so much for your support through Super Chat, Ellen. And I hope that people also support us by sharing this live stream on social media. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Anne. Thank you so much, Anne, for your support through Super Chat. Once again, those Super Chat helps us continue by upgrading our existing technology that we have here at Golden State Times. That helps us out, folks. It makes our live streams better. It makes everything better. But in order for us to continue operation here on YouTube, we need your support by sharing this live stream, giving the thumbs up, clicking the thumbs up, and sharing our videos. because our equipment can be fantastic. It can be the best ever. But if there is no word of mouth, there's no people supporting us by sharing the live streams and our videos and clicking the thumb, then, you know, there's really not much we can do. So we do appreciate every single one of you that is supporting us through Super Chat and through donations and stuff like that. But we also need people to please share this live stream and our videos when we upload them. That's the way we stay live here at Golden State Times on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to John. Thank you so much, John, for your support through Super Chat. Those Super Chats help out so much, you cannot believe. Thank you so much. All right, folks, so we're going to be giving more shout outs here to everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media. And we got Ellen. Thank you so much, Ellen, for your support through, for sharing the live stream on social media. Thank you so much for your continued support. Everything Cool. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Let's see who else we have in here. Lady Patriot 26. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We also have Emma Clark and Kat Can. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Britt, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Mario Trumpetti, thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Lucy Lou, thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. Brian Jones, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Joella Rigerio, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. I apologize if I said that wrong. Libertarian, thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We welcome everybody, folks, whether you are on the right, the left, the middle, as long as you're civil. As long as we can keep the conversation going and not, go to name calling or saying a bunch of crazy stuff, everyone's welcome, folks. We want to make sure that we bring Americans together, not pull them apart. Okay, if you're wondering what type of channel we are, what we do is we cover everything live. We cover stuff raw. We do not have pundits. We don't have reporters, telling you what the president just said. We don't have any of those things. What we do is we show you the raw footage of what is going on. All right, folks, so something is happening. Who's coming in here? Oh, here we go. Someone is set to go up to the podium and speak right now, so give it a second here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you today as we stand together with the people of Venezuela against the corrupt, oppressive, and now former President Maduro and his cronies. In November, I traveled right here to Miami, to the Freedom Tower, to denounce the nexus of socialism, chaos, and instability in our hemisphere, the troika of tyranny, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. At that time, I let Castro frontman Diaz-Canel, Maduro, and Ortega know that the United States would look forward to watching each corner of their sordid triangle of terror fall in Havana, in Caracas, in Managua. And on January the 23rd, less than 3 months later, Caracas became the first of the troika to begin to crumble. On that day, the Venezuelan National Assembly invoked their constitution to formally declare Maduro's May
I'm standing here on the podium.
Therefore vacant. The President of the National Assembly, Juan Guaido, then took the oath of office to become interim President of Venezuela. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump, within 30 minutes, the United States became the first nation in the world to recognize Juan Guaido as the legitimate leader of Venezuela. Soon after, the President's bold action was echoed by dozens of allies and partners in this hemisphere and around the world. Today, more than 50 nations and more than 80% of the Venezuelan people recognize Juan Guaido as the rightful interim president of Venezuela. This is an irreversible mobilization of the Venezuelan people to reclaim their freedom, their constitution, and their future. My friends, it is now my distinct honor to introduce a very special guest. He is a busy man these days, but he wanted to speak with all of you, to speak for the people of Venezuela. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man leading today's peaceful, democratic, constitutional transition in Venezuela, one of the bravest political leaders of the world, the hope for 32 million Venezuelans, the voice of the people, President Juan Guaido.
Quería aprovechar estos minutos y este medio para agradecer al pueblo de los Estados Unidos y en especial al presidente Trump por la determinación y el liderazgo claro en pro de la democracia, en pro de justas causas por lo que está pasando hoy en Venezuela. Una tragedia humanitaria, una que mantiene separadas a las familias por la migración, una que no permite que alimentemos a nuestros jóvenes, que no permite que nuestros abuelos consigan medicamentos, que nos debatimos hoy entre la dictadura y la democracia, entre la vida y la muerte. Hoy es existencial esta lucha que hemos emprendido los venezolanos. Durante años hemos construido mayoría, nos hemos movilizado organizada y cívicamente para conquistar la libertad. En este proceso, esa coalición internacional, ese determinado respaldo que ha dado la comunidad internacional ha sido fundamental en este proceso, ha sido fundamental para los avances democráticos, para que ingrese la ayuda humanitaria en Venezuela que salvará vidas. Es un momento para los venezolanos donde, lo hemos dicho determinadamente, el momento es ahora, donde debemos presionar a una dictadura que ha cercenado derechos, que mantiene presos políticos, que ha perseguido a muchísimos venezolanos. Por eso debemos aprovechar el momento es ahora, el cambio en Venezuela con la determinada presión ejerciendo desde Venezuela con movilización pacífica, con la cooperación internacional, hará que Venezuela sea un país libre y amigo de todos en la región. Muchísimas gracias a todos en la Florida, además un estado que ha acogido a muchísimos venezolanos, que les ha abierto la puerta. De nuevo, gracias al presidente Trump y a todos los estadounidenses determinados y decididos, enamorados de la libertad. Dios los bendiga.
All right, folks, I took Spanish in high school and I got bits and pieces of what he actually said. It was not, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second here. I hated that the Trump administration uses copyrighted music. It makes no sense to me. But anyways, I took Spanish in high school, and I got bits and pieces of what he was saying. Basically, he was saying that the United States is a partner with the new Venezuelan president and or interim president while they get some elections going on, and that he praises President Trump for helping the Venezuelan people in this time of need. He's helping and showing support to people that want freedom and they want liberty in Venezuela, where he said it was such a thriving country before socialism took over and created what's going on right now in that country. So the president has landed in Miami. He came in through Marine One, and now he's heading to the location where the president is going to be delivering his speech in this rally-style speech to Venezuelan American communities in Florida. So right now we're in Miami, Florida, University of Miami, where the president is going to be delivering his speech in just a few moments. So please share this live stream on social media. Like I said, if you already shared it, thank you. If you haven't shared it, please take a minute to share this live stream. Send it through text message, email, however you can get it out there. That's greatly appreciated by us because that's the only way that we stay live here on YouTube. As you guys know, a lot of your favorite creators and other commentators and stuff all over YouTube has been saying for a very long time that YouTube suppresses, demonetizes, or literally shut down stuff that has to do with the president. So we need as much help as we possibly can from you folks. And it's super easy. It's 100% free. It's just clicking the share button, putting it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Gab, your Reddit. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You can have 0 or you can have 100,000. It really does not matter. You'll come up on search. So if you go and search on Twitter, Trump Live, you'll see that your tweet shows up on there. And that's exactly the type of help that we need. So make sure you guys please share it on social media. Thank you so much. All right, folks, I'd like to give a quick thank you. I want to give a quick thank you to Chris. Thank you so much, Chris. Chris says he loves eating cornbread. Well, that's good, I guess. That's awesome. I don't like cornbread myself, but if you do, that's cool. So thank you so much for your support. I want to give a quick thank you to Patrick. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your support through Super Chat. All right, folks, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Suze D. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Here, let me put this down a little bit. There we go. All right, thank you so much, Suze D, for your support. And Suze D says, GSC, thank you so much for bringing the truth to the American people. I am sticking with you. Trump 2020, keep America great again. United, we are strong. That's very true. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. And thank you so much for sticking with us here at Golden State Times. We do it for you, folks. One thing that I was going to say before they came out and the speaker delivered his little speech there, that I was going to say that for every one of these live streams, we want to make it seem like if you are there, that's what we do here at Golden State Times. We don't have pundits and anchors and all this other nonsense that you would see on the mainstream media. It's all useless, folks. People want to see it for themselves. American people are smart. They're winners. They know what's going on. No pundit, no bobblehead, none of those people, no reporter. It's not needed. The American people are smart. The American people get it, and they know exactly what is going on. And that is what we do here at Golden State Times. We show you the raw footage of everything that happens. All the speeches the president does, everything. We show it to you raw. We don't need to tell you how to think. You're smart and you know what's going on. That is what we do here at Golden State Times. You are our +1 to these events. You are our guest. We don't tell you how to think. You can think for yourself. I have another quick shout out to give here. We also have Diana Q. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Diana, for your support. And we also have here Margaret. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. It says free. You guys have to read the comment for yourselves. It says framed by the FBI to demonize legal gun owners. I really do not know what Margaret is really talking about. I have to do more research. But if you guys want to check out that comment, it's in orange at the very top of the chat. You guys can check it out. Thank you so much to everyone that is supporting Golden State Times through Super Chat and also sharing the live stream on social media. The president should be coming out very soon. Thank you so much. All right, folks. So we want to give a quick shout out to the user Canada First. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. You guys can go and check out what he wrote about his website. If you just click the yellow comment on top of the chat, you guys can go and check it out. Thank you so much again for your support through Super Chat.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, folks. I want to give a quick shout out to Cheryl Smith. And Cheryl Smith says, let's see here real quick. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Cheryl Smith says, God bless our president. Thank you so much for your comment and your support through Super Chat. That helps us out immensely. Thank you so much. Again, if you guys want to help out Golden State Times, there's a few ways of doing it. Super Chat is a very good way because it helps us become better, bring you better streams, bring out more content, and cover more stuff both on YouTube and on our website. We do have a website, folks. GoldenStateTimes.com. That's our website, GoldenStateTimes.com. So we cover more stuff on there. We get more writers and stuff like that. So that helps us continue operation when it comes to information. Now, the best way to help us, especially if we're going to stay live here on YouTube, is by Patriots sharing this live stream and live streams that we do almost on a daily basis. And also when we upload our videos. So if you guys share our videos, share our live streams, give our videos and live streams a thumbs up, that helps out so much you cannot believe. So by you telling a friend about Golden State Times, or by you sending a text message saying, hey, look, the president's about to speak regarding what's going on in Venezuela right now. Here's the link. Go and check it out. That you just helped out Golden State Times immensely. So thank you so much to everyone that is sharing the live stream. And thank you so much everyone that is supporting us through Super Chat. Both of those things help out so much. And we're very grateful. Thank you. I want to give a quick shout out to Canada First once again for helping us and for supporting us through Super Chat. I want to give a quick shout out to BP Jones. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Again, BP Jones, thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. All right, folks. So we are close to the 5-minute warning. 5-minute warning, folks. The president is in the venue. He is set to come out soon. It looks like a lot of the people in his cabinet are going to be in attendance. As you guys can see, those seats that are open, that they have the White House logo on them. Those are special seating for, I'm sure, his guest, his special guest, and also his cabinet. So little by little, they're going to start to be coming in and stuff like that. So the president is coming out very, very soon. If you guys are ready for the president, press 1 on the chat. Make sure you click 1 on the chat if you guys are ready for President Trump. Don't forget that today is President's Day. So also don't forget to say Happy President's Day to the president. And press 1 on the chat if you're ready for him to come out and deliver his speech. I want to give a quick shout out to Karen. Thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Again, Karen, thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. I also want to give a quick thank you to Tiffany. I apologize, Tiffany. I didn't even notice it was on here. Sometimes this thing glitches, but thank you so much to Tiffany for your support through Super Chat. Again, I apologize. I did not see it earlier. All right, folks. I was making sure that stuff was running correctly. I didn't even see the chat. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your support through Super Chat. Karen, thank you so much, Karen, for your support through Super Chat. Wanda, thank you so much, Wanda, for your support through Super Chat. Canada First, once again, thank you so much for your support through Super Chat. Let's see what else we have on here. I think that's it. If I missed your Super Chat, I apologize. I'm trying to make sure that everything is running smoothly, so that way we make sure that we give you guys the best experience here at Golden State Times. If you haven't yet, please share this live stream on social media. Click the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for your support. If you already shared it once, twice, as many times, thank you so much for your support. But if you haven't yet, please share this live stream. I want to give a quick thank you to Jack. Thank you so much, Jack, for your support through Super Chat. Thank you so much, folks. All right, folks. So we're looking at our analytics on, countries that are tuning into this live stream, and we notice there's a lot of Spanish-speaking countries that are tuning in to this live stream, and we would just like to say welcome. If you are Venezuelan and or you're in Venezuela or in any country near Venezuela and stand with the Venezuelan people who want liberty, who want freedom, then we would like to welcome you and say thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. We are glad that you are here. I hope that you can understand me. If not, I'll try to translate it and put it on the chat, what I'm trying to say. So thank you so much, everyone. Around the world, basically, we're looking at the analytics, and there's people from all over the world because they understand that what's happening in Venezuela is just despicable and something needs to happen. So we have to see what the president has to say and what the world stage is going to be, what it's going to look like, what other countries are going to be doing regarding what's happening in Venezuela as we speak. Again, thank you so much. If you are tuning in from any South American, Central American country tuning into this live stream, welcome. And we hope that you guys subscribe so you guys can see what's happening in the United States on a daily basis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and Mrs. Melania Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here today in the beautiful city of Miami. The President and I are honored to stand with all of you as we together support the people, great people of Venezuela. I'm proud to be here with you in the United States of America as your First Lady. Many of you in the room know what it feels like to be blessed with freedom after living under the oppression of socialism and communism. In Venezuela, the people are on the brink of reclaiming their own liberty. Today, we must let the Venezuelan people hear us all with one united voice. There is hope, we are free, and we pray together loudly and proudly that soon the people of Venezuela will be free as well. My husband is here today because he cares deeply about the current suffering in Venezuela. This afternoon, he has an important message to share. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce my husband, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, Melania. America is truly blessed to have such an extraordinary, right? Extraordinary First Lady. She's extraordinary, she really is. She cares about people. Hello, Miami. I am thrilled to be back in the state I love with so many proud, freedom-loving patriots. We're here to proclaim a new day is coming in Latin America. It's coming. In Venezuela and across the Western Hemisphere, socialism is dying, and liberty, prosperity, and democracy are being reborn. Today, our hearts are filled with hope because of the determination of millions of everyday Venezuelans, the patriotism of the Venezuelan National Assembly, and the incredible courage of interim President Juan Guaido. The people of Venezuela are standing for freedom and democracy, and the United States of America is standing right by their side. Let me begin by thanking the great leaders here today who have been such incredible champions for the cause of liberty. And these people love you, and they love Venezuela, and they love Cuba, and they love all of the places that we're fighting. Newly elected and already doing an incredible job, Governor Ron DeSantis. A man who I call, especially when we're talking about Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, he knows a lot, and he's a friend of mine, Senator Marco Rubio. A great governor. He gave Ron a little bit of a head start. He did a fantastic job in Florida. Former governor and now Senator Rick Scott. Somebody that I've gotten to know very well, especially as to the fact that my heart is in Venezuela. Representative Mario Diaz-Balart. Ambassador Carlos Trujillo. Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunes, your new and great Attorney General Ashley Moody, and to so many other dedicated public officials that are in this room right now, we thank you very much for being with us. Thank you. Thank you also to Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross, who's with us, and Ambassador Lighthizer. Ambassador Lighthizer, I have to say, just got back from a place called China. And boy, oh boy, we're making a lot of progress. Nobody expected this was going to be happening. We're making a lot of progress. In the meantime, billions and billions of dollars are coming into our treasury. It's very simple. All works. That never happened before. We don't know the feeling in this country, but now we know the feeling. We also want to extend our deep appreciation to the president of Florida International University, Dr. Mark Rosenberg, for hosting this important event. Finally, I want to thank each and every person in this wonderful audience who has made your own stand for human dignity, and that's probably just about all of you. And I want to especially thank the Venezuelan exile community that has done so much to support President Guaido, to organize aid for their compatriots, and to do just a lot back home. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. We're with you. We are profoundly grateful to every dissident, every exile, every political prisoner, and everyone who bears witness to the horrors of socialism and communism, and who has bravely spoken out against them. Thank you very much. The fact is, you've seen the crimes and you've seen the corruption. You have seen the hunger and the suffering. You have heard the anguished pleas for help. You have protested and protested with respect, but loudly. And you have prayed for the day we can now see, which is just ahead, the day when all of the people of this region will at last be free. As we meet today, the people of Venezuela stand at the threshold of history, ready to reclaim their country and to reclaim their future. Not long ago, Venezuela was the wealthiest nation by far in South America. But years of socialist rule have brought this once thriving nation to the brink of ruin. That's where it is today. The tyrannical socialist government nationalized private industries and took over private businesses. They engaged in massive wealth confiscation, shut down free markets, suppressed free speech, and set up a relentless propaganda machine, rigged elections, used the government to persecute their political opponents, and destroyed the impartial rule of law. In other words, the socialists have done in Venezuela all of the same things that socialists, communists, totalitarians have done everywhere that they've had a chance to rule. The results have been catastrophic. Almost 90% of Venezuelans now live in poverty. In 2018, hyperinflation in Venezuela exceeded 1,000,000%. Crippling shortages of food and medicine plague the country. Socialism has so completely ravaged this great country that even the world's largest reserves of oil are no longer enough to keep the lights on. This will never happen to us. Thank you. Already, more than 3 million Venezuelans have fled Maduro's brutal opposition, and brutal it is. Today, we are honored to be joined by Amita Perez, the mother of Oscar Perez, a courageous Venezuelan police officer. You know the story. In June of 2017, Oscar piloted a helicopter over the city of Baruta with the banner 350 Liberty, a reference to Article 350 of the Venezuelan Constitution, which states, "The people of Venezuela shall disown any regime, legislation, or authority that violates democratic values or encroaches upon human rights." Oscar said he wanted to give the people hope. He loved the people. He fought for the people, and they loved Oscar. But Oscar was gunned down and killed by Venezuelans, so you know this very well. You all know the story. By the Venezuelan security forces, viciously. Aminta, our hearts break for your loss. Oscar gave his life for the freedom of his people. We all have hope today because of great, great people and patriots like Oscar. Please, Aminta. I said, how about saying something in Spanish? She likes Spanish. She's a little bit better in Spanish. Please.
Gracias. Gracias, señor presidente. Me disculpan si se me salen las lágrimas. Lo que pasa es que hoy uno de mis hijos, otro de mis hijos, que también fue asesinado, está de cumpleaños hoy. Y entonces, bueno, pero estoy acá más que todo estoy con el presidente solicitando ayuda humanitaria. Estoy solicitando también justicia por mi hijo y por su grupo que fueron asesinados vilmente, por los hijos. Y también para continuar con el legado de Oscar, que parte de eso somos todos nosotros. Y vamos a continuar con la lucha hasta ver nuestra Venezuela libre y poder regresar a nuestra madre patria. Gracias.
I don't know what she said, but I think I know what she said. And she is an incredible woman, and Oscar was an incredible man who will not have died in vain. A few weeks ago, on January 23rd, Venezuela's National Assembly invoked the Venezuelan Constitution to declare the President of the National Assembly, Juan Guaido, as the country's legitimate leader. In one of his first acts, President Guaido invoked the same constitutional article that Oscar carried through the skies to notify the world that Maduro was illegitimate. Within 30 minutes, the United States was proud to be the first nation in the world to recognize President Guaido. And by the way, John Bolton is here. Where is John? Working hard. Today, more than 50 countries around the world now recognize the rightful government of Venezuela. And the Venezuelan people have spoken, and the world has heard their beautiful voice. They are turning the page on socialism, turning the page on dictatorship. And there will be no going back. Peace-loving nations are ready to help Venezuela reclaim its democracy, its dignity, and its destiny. All the nations in our hemisphere have a shared interest in preventing the spread of socialist tyranny. Socialism, by its very nature, does not respect borders. It does not respect boundaries or the sovereign rights of its citizens or its neighbors. It's always seeking to expand, to encroach, and to subjugate others to its will. The twilight hour of socialism has arrived in our hemisphere, and frankly, in many, many places around the world. The days of socialism and communism are numbered not only in Venezuela, but in Nicaragua and in Cuba as well. Do we love Cuba? Do we love Nicaragua? Great countries. Such great potential. Remember that word, such unbelievable potential. In the meantime, we must all work together to end a humanitarian disaster. As we speak, there are truckloads filled with hundreds of tons of desperately needed humanitarian supplies, stopped at the borders of Venezuela and waiting to help the millions and millions in need. 2 days ago, the first U.S. Air Force C-17, that's a big, beautiful plane, landed in Colombia, loaded with crucial assistance, including thousands of nutrition kits for little Venezuelan children. Unfortunately, dictator Maduro has blocked this life-saving aid from entering the country. He would rather see his people starve than give them aid, than help them. Millions of Venezuelans are starving and suffering, while a small handful at the top of the Maduro regime plunder the nation into poverty and into death. We know who they are, and we know where they keep the billions of dollars that they have stolen. Incredibly, there are members of the Venezuelan military still barely supporting this failed dictatorship. They are risking their future. They are risking their lives and Venezuela's future for a man controlled by the Cuban military and protected by a private army of Cuban soldiers. Maduro is not a Venezuelan patriot. He is a Cuban puppet. That's what he is. And remember that hundreds of millions of dollars used to be paid to Cuba, but no longer, because they no longer have that kind of wealth to be able to do it. So things are changing, and they're changing fast. And today I have a message for every official who is helping to keep Maduro in place. The eyes of the entire world are upon you today, every day, and every day in the future. You cannot hide from the choice that now confronts you. You can choose to accept President Guaido's generous offer of amnesty to live your life in peace with your families and your countrymen. President Guaido does not seek retribution against you, and neither do we. But you must not follow Maduro's orders to block humanitarian aid and you must not threaten any form of violence against peaceful protesters, opposition leaders, members of the National Assembly, or President Guaido and his family. We seek a peaceful transition of power, but all options are open. We want to restore Venezuelan democracy, and we believe that the Venezuelan military and its leadership have a vital role to play in this process. If you choose this path, you have the opportunity to help forge a safe and prosperous future for all of the people of Venezuela. Or you can choose the second path, continuing to support Maduro. If you choose this path, you will find no safe harbor, no easy exit, and no way out. You will lose everything. So today I ask every member of the Maduro regime, end this nightmare of poverty, hunger, and death for your people. Let your people go. Set your country free. Now is the time for all Venezuelan patriots to act together as one united people. Nothing could be better for the future of Venezuela, and nothing could be better for the future of another captive nation, Cuba, than the rebirth of freedom and democracy in Venezuela. For decades, the socialist dictatorships of Cuba and Venezuela have propped each other up in a very corrupt bargain. Venezuela gave Cuba oil. In return, Cuba gave Venezuela a police state run directly from Havana. But this is a much different day, and those days are over. The ugly alliance between the two dictatorships is coming to a rapid end. A new future is beginning. All of us in this arena, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people outside, you have to see it, are united because we know the truth about socialism. In Venezuela, in Cuba, in Nicaragua, and all around the world. Socialism promises prosperity, but it delivers poverty. Socialism promises unity, but it delivers hatred and it delivers division. Socialism promises a better future, but it always returns to the darkest chapters of the past. That never fails. It always happens. Socialism is a sad and discredited ideology rooted in the total ignorance of history and human nature, which is why socialism eventually must always give rise to tyranny, which it does. Socialists profess a love of diversity, but they always insist on absolute conformity. We know that socialism is not about justice. It's not about equality. It's not about lifting up the poor. Socialism is about one thing only: power for the ruling class. And the more power they get, the more they crave. They want to run healthcare, run transportation and finance, run energy, education, run everything. They want the power to decide who wins and who loses, who's up and who's down, what's true and what's false, and even who lives and who dies. In short, all of us here today know that there is nothing less democratic than socialism. Everywhere and anywhere it appears, socialism advances under the banner of progress, but in the end it delivers only corruption, exploitation, and decay. With us today is David Smolenski. David was one of the youngest mayors in Venezuelan history when the Maduro regime removed him from office and issued a warrant for his arrest. David fled into Venezuela's treacherous southern jungle. Eventually, David reached Brazil, where he was welcomed with open arms. Today, David lives in exile in the United States, where he continues to speak up for the Venezuelan people. Sadly, David is the third generation of his family to flee the agony of socialism and communism. David's grandparents fled the Soviet Union in 1927, and his father fled communist Cuba in 1970. As David said, the difference I want to have for my father and my grandfather is to go back to my country. My grandparents never went back to Kiev. My father has not been back to Havana. I hope I can soon return to Venezuela. I think that will happen, David. Thank you very much, David. I think it'll soon happen. Your courage, David, is an inspiration. And not only David, many of the people in this room, you've been through much. But you see it coming to the end. You see it really coming to an end for the first time. For the first time, you're seeing it. Because the United States, a true great nation, is behind you. And so as the United States stands up for democracy in Venezuela, we reaffirm the solidarity with the long-suffering people of Cuba and Nicaragua and people everywhere living under socialist and communist regimes. And to those who would try to impose socialism on the United States, we again deliver a very simple message. America will never be a socialist country. We are born free, and we will stay free now and forever. We know what freedom can do in Venezuela because we have seen that future right here in Doral. We know what freedom can do in Cuba because we have seen that future right here in Miami. We know what freedom can do in Nicaragua because we have seen that future in Sweetwater. And one day soon, with God's help, We are going to see what the people will do in Caracas and Managua and Havana. And when Venezuela is free, and Cuba is free, and Nicaragua is free, this will become the first free hemisphere in all of human history. It was my great honor to be with you today, and the First Lady's great honor to be with you today. We are winning. We are winning on every front. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the people of Venezuela. God bless the people of Cuba. God bless the people of Nicaragua. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, that was an amazing speech by the president. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. Right now, we're going to leave the stream on. We're going to put a graphic on your screen that says free chat. So if you guys want to stand by and have a little chat with everyone that's still watching, then you guys can stay on here. We're going to keep the stream running for a little while. We're going to be in the chat talking to people, answering questions, and in case you guys had any questions or anything like that. So we're not shutting the stream down anytime soon. So if you guys want to stand by and just chat for a little while, have a little bit of fun, we're going to keep a little bit of music going on so everybody would have fun here at Golden State Times. If you guys love this speech and you guys thought it was good, then press 1 on the chat, folks. It was an amazing, amazing speech. Let us know what you guys think in the chat about this speech. I think he did a very good job. And but we want to know what you guys think on the chat. Let me know. Press 1 on the chat if you guys thought it was a really good speech. Again, we're gonna let the chat keep going for a little while. And if you guys missed any part of the speech, then make sure you guys check it out. It's being uploaded right now. So make sure you guys check it out. I'll put the link to it once it uploads on the channel. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Again, we're going to leave the chat open. We're going to be playing a little bit of music in the background. And I'll see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. If you just joined us today, if today was the very first time you checked out our channel, we encourage you to subscribe if you liked our coverage. Also, make sure to click the notification bell. That way you get notified when we go live. If you want to get notified directly by us here at Golden State Times, all you have to do is text me the word America First to 555-888. Again, that number is 555-888. All you have to do is grab your cell phone and text America First to 55-58-88 and click send. Then you'll receive another notification that says that you have opted in to get notified directly by me here at Golden State Times instead of YouTube. because I know YouTube doesn't send notifications for uploads and for live streams on a daily basis. So by being part of that notification squad, then we send you guys a notification directly so you guys can check out what's going on at the White House, at the State Department, the Pentagon, and everywhere else in politics, or if there's breaking news. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. Again, that's Gold State Times. We update everything that is going on. Breaking news, stuff that's happening in the future, stuff that we know about. You know, who's leaving the White House, who's going into the White House. Breaking news, everything. We cover everything on Twitter. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Twitter, but it's a very good way of bringing up to the second information. So make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Gold State Times. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the chat.
And the army goes rolling along.
right, folks, let me just pause this for a second. I just want to say thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. If you guys missed the speech at any point, I'm putting it up on the chat as a link. If you guys watched it and you guys loved it and you guys want people to see it, then make sure you go over there and you give it a thumbs up, and you also share it on social media, just like you shared this live stream. That helps us out immensely when people that tune in, all of you guys that tune in, you guys share our live streams and our videos. That helps us out so much. So if you guys would like to help us out, and this is also a call to action because the mainstream media is going to suppress this 100%. You guys know how the mainstream media is, how Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube and Reddit and all of those social media sites, how they are. So make sure you please go and check out the video. If you already saw it, perfect. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a very good speech. But we would like to ask you to please go and check it out. The link is in the chat. I'm putting it up on the chat myself. Click on it, share it, and give it a thumbs up. You know, send it to people and tell them to check it out. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. I'm going to leave the live stream going on for just a little bit longer. Again, if you guys missed the speech, I'm putting it up on the chat. It's already uploaded on the channel. Make sure you guys got the notification. Make sure that you guys share it on social media and you guys give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for your continued help and support from me here at Golden State Times. Thank you so much, folks. I'll see you guys on the chat.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, folks, so we're posting the video of President Trump's speech regarding Venezuela on Twitter and Facebook and gab.ai or gab.com or whatever it is now. So if you guys see it on there, make sure you guys repost it or retweet it or, you know, post it on your own account. That way you guys can help us spread the word on what's going on here, folks. So make sure you guys go and check it out. Once again, I'm going to be putting it up on the chat. And if you guys can go and check it out and share it on social media and all that good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone that is sharing it already. You guys are amazing. You guys help us so much. See, we don't try to ask for much. All we ask for is a share. And it's 100% free. And it just takes a second. All you have to do is just click the share button, post it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Gab, your Reddit, your WordPress website, wherever you guys can put it. Send it through text message, send it through email, however you can get it out there. And also, don't forget to swing by and give it a thumbs up. If you already watched it, perfect, great. But someone else didn't. So please share it on social media, give it a thumbs up, and let people know how great of a speech that was. And if you haven't seen it or you missed it, you came on to the live stream halfway, then check it out, because it's a very important speech. Talking about freedom, talking about that the United States will never, ever be a socialist country. And in a lot of updates, too, directly from the president. So if you missed it or you didn't watch it in full, go and check it out and share it with your friends, family, patriots, and anyone that is willing to listen. Go and check it out. Thank you so much. All right, folks, so I'm seeing that some people are asking when the speech is starting. The speech already ended, folks, but I'm posting the link to the video where President Trump delivered his speech, so you guys can go and check it out. And you guys can share it with your friends and share it on social media and give it a thumbs up like always. So again, if you just joined us this very second, or you joined us 5 minutes ago, I'm posting the link to the speech in case you missed it. All right, so I'm going to be I'm hooking you guys up, folks. I'm hooking you guys up. There you go. All you have to do is click on that link. And then when you start watching and you like the speech, click that share button, put it on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Reddit, or any of those. Send it through text message, email, and then other people will get to see it with you. So if you guys want to help us out, if you guys want to share the speech that President Trump just delivered, and you guys want to help him out too, because the whole mainstream media is against him, folks. So he needs our help. He needs my help. He needs your help, just as much as we here at Golden State Times need your help. So you guys are the only ones that can help both the president, make sure that more people listen to what he has to say, and then we will help the president by delivering his speeches to the American people. So make sure you guys check it out. Give it a thumbs up like always, and share it. Thank you so much. All right, folks, so I'm going to be shutting down this live stream. Once again, if you guys missed President Trump's speech, I'll be putting it up on the chat. If you guys missed it, or if you guys went halfway, or you guys got here at the very end, make sure you guys please go and check it out and share the live stream on social media, like always. I hate to sound like a broken record, folks, but it comes down to that. It comes down to we needing your help sharing our live streams, our videos we upload, and stuff like that. So you cannot believe how appreciative I am when you guys share the live streams on social media. There's going to be a bunch of giveaways coming soon. So every single Trump rally, we don't know when the next Trump rally is, but whenever we have a Trump rally, we're going to be doing giveaways of Trump hats. So stay tuned for that. I just wanted to give a quick update. We did a giveaway a few days ago. I think it was like a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago. And we did get everybody reached out to us. We send Trump hats. So as soon as we receive confirmation that they got it, or they send us a pic or anything like that, we're going to be putting the winners up on our social media. So make sure you guys follow us, follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. Again, that's Gold State Times on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow us so you guys can check out updates on future Trump hat giveaways, and whoever won, you guys can, say, good job or whatever, or, if you guys want to see who won the last time we were giving out Trump hats at the last Trump rally in Texas. So on any future Trump rally that is going to be coming up soon, most likely at the beginning of next month, I believe is going to be the next Trump rally, but we're going to be giving Trump hats then too. So stay tuned, folks, because we want to give back to the community. You guys help us so much. We want to give back. And I think the best way to give back is by giving out Trump hats, Trump gear, and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. So I'll be updating the winners of the last 5 Trump hats that we gave away in the near future. I'm just waiting to get permission to use their pictures that they're sending us. I'm waiting for people to confirm that they got it and stuff like that. So we did give away some Trump hats, and we're going to be giving away more Trump hats in the future. So stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter, and make sure you go and check out the video, like I said, and you guys share it and all that stuff. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Peace.